All right, training video. This is the 2021 Ford Transit converted here in Indiana by Allen. This is the divider, little toolbox. Over here in the corner, we've got our shop vac. It's connected, strapped down. It's wired up. We're on inverter power right now. We'll cover that in a minute. Down there we've got 4 outlets, table, shop vac, and a little power strip for our toolbox where they can maybe set some rechargeables and things like that. Also have power right here for clippers and whatever else. We've got lights, we've got air conditioning, we've got a power roof vent. I can't quite reach it here. That runs directly off of 12 volts, right off of the batteries. The lights are all on this switch right here, which is inverter powered. Now we can turn our inverter on and off right here. Okay, so this one is for the salon, this one is for the air conditioner. This is just a little fuel gauge for your battery power. Let's see if there's anything else. Table. Tub, we got the little pull-out ramp. We do have a direct drain to the tank, which is mounted in the back. We're waiting on the faucet to come. It's going to go right there. Also do have a K9 mini dryer in the back. We've got 2 switches dedicated to a, normally I'll do a K9 2 dryer that way, but since we have the mini, we're gonna have to just run it on high, unless they want to rewire into another K9 2 or something. We could talk about that later. Water pump, water heater, dryer 1, dryer 2. Currently I have a drum heater wrapped around the water tank, so maybe we can use that for overnight heating of the water. Let's see if there's anything else to cover in here. Air conditioner runs on remote. I reckon that is about it. Got some keys. I'm gonna drop in a little pack of spare fuses. This toolbox does lock, but they got a pretty good little detent on the drawers. Sorry, I wasn't aiming well. And that's about it for the inside. Okay, we'll go around the back. Now before we go in, we've got our hookups on the outside of the van. Water hookup dedicated in the middle. It goes directly to the charger for overnight charging of the battery bank. This is shoreline to the salon. This is shoreline to the air conditioner. All right. Now what you're looking at, there are 12 lithium ion phosphate batteries. They're 100 amp hours each, 1200 amp hours, 15,400 watt hours. There's your 65-gallon freshwater tank and your water pump, and the gray tanks in the back here with a drain goes right out the bottom. Okay. There is a 110 volt 4-gallon water heater that will run off the inverter. That is a little 12 volt heater that is intended to keep the batteries above freezing at night. It may not be sufficient to do all the water and everything else, but it is there for keeping the batteries warm. Okay, there is a fuse that is for the charge line. This is on the driver's side of the vehicle. That's a 150 amp fuse, I guess. It comes from the charge line, which goes up to the front alternator area. This is a 12 volt fuse box, and there is a fuse for the water pump and a fuse for the 12 volt fan. There's your 100 amp breaker box, air conditioner, water heater, outlets, dryer. These other two are currently vacant right now, not being used. All right, there is a 100 amp lithium charger for the overnight charging of the batteries. There's a 40 amp DC to DC charger. Its job is to control the amount of amperage that comes from the engine so that we don't overwork the alternator. But when you're driving, we do charge at a 40 amp rate. These two boxes in the back are transfer switches. They select from incoming power either from inverters or from the outside power source. These are these correlated to those switches that I showed you in the front there. This is for the water heater. It's connected to that switch up front. Dedicated means it just comes straight in from the outside. Currently intended for use for the charger. There is an open one there if you wanted to plug something else in there. You just gotta be careful you don't exceed the 15 amps when you do that. Currently, these two outlets here are separated, dryer 1, dryer 2. Both are switched. So again, when I first started setting this up, I set it up for how we do a K92. This second plug is that second switch, and I have it going here to this belt, drum belt, which has a thermostat on it. Okay, so you can set that for overnight temperature. You know, let's keep that on low, let's say 80 degrees. I know I'm skipping around a little bit, but there's an overflow on that gray tank too. If the tank gets full, it just starts going outside. Let's see, two 5,000 watt inverters, 10,000 watt surge each. This one on the left runs the salon. This one on the right runs the air conditioner. There's your K9 Mini. It is screwed down. The hose goes through and comes out over there by the tub. Okay, you could change this out for whatever dryer you wanted to. You can plug it in there. If you get a K92 2-speed, you can always separate the plugs and control both speeds from the salon. I think that's about it. We'll talk about this briefly. This is all the cabling. Goes to these bus bars, positive and negative, and those are the fuses. The top two, there's 4 fuses there. The top 2 go to one inverter. The bottom 2 go to the other inverter. There are 2 250 amp fuses for each inverter. There's the cabling, goes right up and goes to the bottom of those inverters. So we're finished out in the back here. The whole van is insulated with styrofoam foil back insulation. And that is, I want to say, that is about it.